Ms. Downs, do we have anyone sign up for citizen comments?
Yes, ma'am. We have James and Diana Glover. If you could please come up to the mic.
Ms. Grover, please state your name and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Diana Glover. I live at 1178 Fetch Road. My address is Ferris, but I want to be a part of Wilmer's. I would like to have city water and city sewer if I can possibly get it out there. We haul our water. We don't pay a lot for it, but I don't get to do what I need to do at home, like laundry and stuff like that, without hauling the water to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Mike Rader.
Mr. Rader, please state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes, sir.
Mike Rader, 601 West Wintergreen, 7231 Oak Alley in Colleyville. I'm here, I sent a letter to the mayor and council members on Monday, seeking some clarification on some projects that I'm working on. Let me just read the letter. New projects for the city of Wilmer. I've attended recent council meetings regarding the 25-26 budget. What seems to be majority of council direction is to reduce staff and expenses and the growth of Wilmer. For 5 years, we've grown about 4 times in revenue and population. We have projects in line that will continue to grow. So I ask for you to confirm whether you want them or not. Please indicate below your preference for these projects to go forward. I had 2 columns, yes and no. Medical facilities, restaurants, Marriott hotels, grocery, market rate apartments, data centers, adding about $2 to $3 billion in tax base and double your annual revenue, direct water supply from Dallas Water Utilities. Water is going to be a shortage here in a couple of years. Not going to take long. And you really need to get off. We had Hudson's, now Lancaster. You really need to get off that for the continued growth of the city. I appreciate your service. I need a response so I know what to do on these projects. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Mr. Radar, if you can send me that letter, if you didn't already, and I'll make sure that they get it.
We haven't got it.
My hearing aid didn't work. What?
I said if you could send me the letter that you sent to them, I'll make sure that they all receive it.
I will do that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Mary Trejo.
Miss Mary, could you please state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes, ma'am.
My name is Mary Trejo. I have 2 complaints on there. I'm sorry, I put 2 addresses on there, but it's 1601 Miller Ferry Road, Wilmer, Texas. So I'm talking on behalf of my parents. They used to put a food truck by the park that's near by the train tracks, and we've been doing it we've only do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we had to renew our permits, and we've been trying to renew them. But they had told us that we can, even though we renewed the permit, we won't be able to sell them no more. And I just wanted to see if we can get a permit for us to keep selling, cause we just feel that we don't bother anyone. We only sell Friday, Saturday, and Sunday just for 3 hours. And then a lot of customers will always tell us that finally there's something close to them that they can go get something to eat whenever they get out of work. And I just wanted to see if we can get a permit or for us to keep selling there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Fabiola Torres.
Same
Same thing?
thing?
Okay.
That it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will now move into the consent agenda. Secretary Downs, please read the consent agenda into the record, please.
Item number 1, consider approval of the minutes from July 17th City Council special meeting, July 17th City Council regular meeting, August 7th Board of Adjustment meeting, August 7th City Council regular meeting. Item 2, consider resolution R 2025-0918B approving the terms and conditions of an agreement with C&M Concrete Contracting for concrete bridge repairs on Miller's Ferry utilizing the interlocal purchase system contract number 23060202 administered through TIPS in an amount not to exceed $70,765.00.
Council? Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. This has already been repaired, right?
Mr. McWade, our Public Works Director, can you please come up?
Ms. Mayor,
Yes.
it's fine if we want to do it, but since it's on the consent agenda, we have to get a motion to remove it from the consent agenda so we can discuss it.
Oh, okay, okay. You have to make a motion.
I
to-
make a motion to remove
Okay.
it from the consent.
And I second.
Okay, so you're removing number 2 at this time. Okay, let's vote on number 1. May I get a vote?
We need a motion for number 1.
Oh, okay. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
A second, please.
Second.
Okay, now we will move for a vote.
Yes.
Okay, this is on number 3.
No, number 1.
Okay.
Number 1 for the minutes.
Consent agenda for
Consent.
minutes.
Okay. Yes.
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 And yes.
Okay, it passes 5-0.
Wayne, can you please come up to the front?
Okay, sir. Now, ask your questions, ma'am. Phyllis?
Okay, I was questioning on this bridge up here at Miller's Ferry, that has already been fixed?
Yes, ma'am. It was fixed on an emergency basis. Yes, ma'am. It's been fixed.
Okay, I can't hear you and I know you can't hear me, so,
Yes, ma'am. It's been fixed. It was an emergency fix.
okay.
I actually have pictures.
Is someone,
Oh,
okay,
Okay, everyone on this end's gonna have to speak up. The mics are not working.
was it our group that was working on it, or was it, this one that's, the C&M?
It's CNM for concrete repairs.
And, when, did anyone go out, was it inspected after their work was done?
So we went out, like I said, I have before and after pictures that I can hand out to council. We went out and looked at it after it was done. And then also we have to, once it's repaired, we have to send it over to TxDOT, because TxDOT does our bridge inspections. So when TxDOT sent us the inspection, there are 2 bridges, one on Good Road and that one over there on,
Miller's Ferry.
Miller's Ferry, sorry. But yeah, and it stated in the bridge inspection, you know, what needed to be done to the bridge.
Oh, just advising us what we need to do to the bridge to get it.
It's already been done.
Yeah, it had to be done within 120 days from what TxDOT said. If not, it would continuously fail.
It has to do, be what?
It had to be repaired and completed within 120 days of when the bridge inspection was done, or it would continuously fail.
Okay.
what he's saying, we had to do it within 120
120 days, yeah.
after text dot.
And if I
Okay.
may, who okayed it for you?
That's what may I have a follow-up question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 120 days. That was enough time to get this before council. It's above the $50,000 limit. So why was this not presented to the council? I have a second question. I have personally witnessed the truck haulers or the car haulers taking them to Green Road. Do you think in your experience, is that why that was separating, or is it just use of the thing?
I'm sure it contributed to it. Like I said, here's pictures of everything before and after. That kind of shows everything that was done. The bridge is falling apart.
You know, it's a public safety, and yes, we understand it needing to be fixed, but it's above the $50,000 limit that's supposed to be coming to council. So I was within 120 days, sir. My question is, why was that not brought to us in advance?
So I brought it up to our previous administrator, and under our purchasing policy, under emergency conditions, as long as it's brought in after 90 days, before 90 days, after the repair is done, it still counts.
That's what she said?
That's what our previous city administrator said.
Okay. And this is not against you. It's a safety issue that protects the people of our town. But as for police officers, you know, we have those trucks. They are supposed to go Pleasant Run to Sunrise and then up Green. They're not doing that. I mean, they come off of 45. They'll go through housing areas. I've seen them come to Beltline and go past my house. And something has to be done monitoring these trucks, because most of our damage, I mean, we don't get money from the truck haulers or the car haulers like we would from Waste Management to fix streets. And so that is just, when I saw this, I went, that's that car hauler. He hit that. They had to have hit that for that, because I've seen them go down and they drag themselves back up. But
I do know.
whether or not it was that and that only, I'm sure erosion, because we do have a drainage water issue, that played a part. But, you know, we've got to watch these trucks, and particularly those car haulers, because they just go so fast and that trailer swings all around.
And
I have,
I have talked to the chief, and they are stopping the trucks when they catch them.
what about these car haulers? I mean, they will
They're
do a double trailer.
they're getting them too.
They will do a double trailer.
I know, I
Of
know.
eight cars on each one.
Right.
And they just turn those curves and they go around, and it's amazing they don't hit more people.
Well, I've already talked to the chief, and they are writing tickets to them.
Wayne, thank you very much. I've spoken on this subject before, but about the car haulers that go to the place down on Morris Road and they come up South Good to get to Beltline instead of going on the service road.
Right.
Have you inspected lately the bridge on South Good?
So we had the bridge on South Good repaired. It was the same company that repaired it, but we have inspected.
Well, sorta.
We have before and after pictures.
Let's say sorta repaired.
So are you referring to the east side or west side?
Which side of Good Road?
The west side.
West side? So the issue with the west side is, in the right-of-way, there's a private property fence line that is actually on the right-of-way. So until we can get the homeowner to move that fence, we can't go in there and do any more work. That's why there's a temporary.
And has the homeowner been notified?
I have not notified the homeowner, because we're told it's temporary right now, and that's what we're doing, temporary catch up the grass, and then we're gonna revisit the issue.
Okay.
But do we have a
Again-
right of way?
There is a right-of-way over
If we have a right of way, legally, can't we go on and do repair?
On our right of way?
Is it our right of way?
there. Their fence does overlap into our right-of-way, but to be, you know, we don't wanna make enemies of citizens or anything, so.
We can just
wanna make-
notify them that we're coming onto their property and that we can just do it.
Well, and they have a pipe fence there, if we tear it out, then
then you can put it back.
So if we put it back, we have to actually put it back on private property where it's not on the right of way.
Right.
There's also a tree that just spans from that person's property over the right of way too that needs to be taken out.
Got it. But my point in bringing all this up in the first place was the car haulers that keep coming down our road. They're tearing it up, and we're gonna end up with another situation just like that. And unless we stop that, it's just gonna continue.
Well, I know my team we've stopped them, but they just laugh at us. I mean, we don't have any say. We're like, hey, you can't go this way. Well, who are you? You're not the cops. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
So Wayne, if I may, if you were noticing there was an issue, how come, what happened there? What was the communication between you and the city administrator, or whoever was in charge of whatever was happening there, sir?
So I had talked to her and let her know because when TxDOT, originally she got the 2 bridge inspections first before I even got them. And then when I got them, and then I was reading on it, and it has on the bridge inspection, what you need to do between the first 120 days, and then if it takes longer than that, and if it takes longer than that, and then what steps you have to go through, how much more you have to spend to ratify the problem.
And with the question that Mrs., she had, there was more money than 50,000 spent. How come it was never brought to our attention, or even?
So on the purchasing policy, but because it's under an emergency case, because it's an emergency, it's emergency repair. So as long as it's according to our purchasing policy, as long as we bring this to council, even after the fact that it's been fixed, then it falls in the emergency case, which can go above 50,000, from what the city administrator does, and the purchasing policy.
Well, I think we need to look over that and see, and do some little changes there, sir.
I can recall we had an emergency situation about 2 years ago with the water leak that happened over at the west side of town and into the Trinity River. And when they declared an emergency, they were going to go over. In fact, it was much more than this.
Oh,
It was-
gosh, yeah.
It was about $1 million.
Over $1 million.
Yeah, over $1 million. I got a phone call, and I think all the council got a phone call. And I think we need to put that in the policy, that anytime you go over $50,000, if it's an emergency, it should be a notification to the mayor, mayor pro tem, and at least one other council member. That would be my recommendation, if not all the council members, to let them know that there was an emergency expense.
Okay, we'll bring that up later.
But I do have a question, and I know with all the new city maps and the changes and who's in the city limits now and who's not. Is the car crush lot on Mars Road, is that in the city limits?
Yes.
It is in the city limits?
Yes, ma'am.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
It's in the county. The one that closed down?
No.
No,
No,
the one
that's
that
on
came
the
from
road in
Hutchins.
Mars.
The one on the south
it's
side of
US
Mars
state
at the end of.
Yeah, it's the one that came here from Hutchins, right?
Okay, now the one that's on
Sneak
Green
in.
Road, if I believe it, and I
There's
said
one on
Green
Green
Road, yeah,
Road, too.
it's Green Road. It did get brought into the city, right? It was at the same time as that trailer park
Right,
did.
yeah.
So we can suggest to have the mayor, have the police chief or a couple of officers go to these businesses and explain to what's happening and let them know that their vehicles must go the highway service roads to that, or Pleasant Run, Sunrise. The traffic that has been designated for these high-capacity
Right.
weight vehicles must go on designated roads. And if they continue to do so, we need to come up with some kind of policy for those businesses.
Right.
But my concern is, how did he sneak in there, the crusher guy? How did he get the permits?
So the one on Mars, I'm not sure, that was before I started. The last couple times we went out there, there's no one been there. It's like they closed down, and then every once in a while you see 1 or 2 trucks out there, not 18 wheelers, just regular trucks.
Well, I know they used to not be in the city, so if they were
Yeah.
brought into the city, wouldn't they have been grandfathered with the current
No.
business that they had?
No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
no.
And see,
I
I don't know.
think that's an
Legally, would they have been
EPA
grandfathered?
issue too.
I mean, if you bring them in, do you make them change their business?
So if you're talking about bringing them in through annexation or something else,
That, when they did the donut hole, they were
Okay.
brought in.
it's very important to understand, and I want to be real careful because I don't want to get too far away from the actual agenda items,
Yes.
which is the road.
Right.
Okay, so, but I will address that, because it's still an issue. The 41003, 3 and 4 years ago, were not annexations. Absolutely not annexations.
Right.
Because they were
Boundary
not
adjustments.
annexations, they have no zoning. They are simply said, hey, these elements in 41003 subsection B, all 4 of these elements are met. So we're declaring now by this ordinance, which was allowed in 41003A, we're declaring by this ordinance that this tract of land is inside the city limits. That does not change its zoning. It doesn't have any zoning. So versus annexation, when somebody is annexed in, they are given a zoning designation. However, they can still continue to use the property as they were using it before they were annexed. So that's how those two are different.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions?
No. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne. Okay, ladies, may I get a vote or a motion on number 2?
Already done it.
We've got to pay the bill. Madam Mayor, I make a motion to pay C&M Concrete Contracting, the fee is designated in the agenda.
Thank you, ma'am. May I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, sir. May I have a vote?
Yes,
Yes?
Yes.
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 5-0. It passes. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen.
I do have a comment. Can I?
Not now. Sorry. Action items.
Mayor and council, we're going to table items 3 and 4 this evening. I included the PowerPoint presentation in your agenda packet. If there's any questions that you have that you need answered before the item is brought back, please let me know and I'll give them to Miss Patricia Albrecht. Due to personal reasons, she was not able to be here.
Okay, so there's no action on 3 and 4. Go to 5, please.
Yes, ma'am. Item 5, consider resolution R2025-0918C, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement between Freeze and Nichols and the City of Wilmer for basic engineering and special engineering services and construction bidding services Phase 2, basic and special engineering services for the sewer force main crossing of the Trinity River located at northeast section of Goat Island Preserve and the southwest corner of Dallas Southside Wastewater Treatment Plant in an amount not to exceed $888,000 and no cents, sorry. Right, Mr. Ben, if you would like to come up and introduce who is here to present.
Good evening, Mayor and
Good
members of the
afternoon.
City Council. We prepared a brief presentation on this project to give you some background, what's been done so far and what is going to be done with the proposal we have before you today. So it's my pleasure to introduce our team. This is Andrew Liu, who's going to give the presentation, and Mike Hagan, who you may have seen before. Mike has been here before on some of the other actions that the council took on this particular project. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Andrew, and he's going to take it from here on the presentation.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Does everyone have a slide?
Oh, yes.
So my name is Andrew Liu with Freeze Nichols. I'm going to be talking about the Trinity River Placement Project. And I'll just reintroduce the project a little bit. I'm sure all of you are aware
Right.
of what's happened here. So there's a force main, basically a wastewater pipe that crosses the Trinity River, carrying the city's wastewater and conveys it to the city of Dallas's wastewater treatment plant. Back in October 2020, that had been identified that it had failed, and so the city performed an emergency repair. And so just included a figure on the right just to kind of show what happened. So this is pulled from the original record drawings back in 1973. You can see that the crossing of the channel was relatively narrow, and the pipe was under the ground. But over the past 50 years, due to the erosion of the riverbank, the river got wider, it got a little deeper, which essentially exposed the pipe and led to the failure. So the red is intending to show kind of what the current conditions are there. And
We just have to go a little deeper, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of give you an overview of the project. Not only are we doing 1,000 linear feet of replacement of the pipe, there's more to it than that. With it being in such a remote location, south side of the property is owned by Dallas County Nature Preserve. North side is owned by the city of Dallas. So a lot of coordination there. But I do want to emphasize that this is a crucial piece of infrastructure for the city, being that it conveys a lot of the city's sewer to get treated at the wastewater treatment plant. When the city performed that emergency repair back in 2020, TCEQ had reviewed it and they ultimately said a more permanent solution was needed. So goal of this project is obviously to provide the city a permanent solution that'll last for decades. On the next slide, talk about the funding sources we're using for this project. So there's two. I'll start with the first one. The EPA congressionally directed spending grant. So the city's been awarded that as part of fiscal year 2022. So as part of that, they received $2.2 million for this project. The intent with these funding sources is that they would help pay for the design fees, the engineering design fees, as well as the construction costs associated with that. To supplement that EPA grant that y'all got, we'll, as part of our scope of work, we're going to be applying for Texas Water Development Board Clean Revolving State Water Fund to help cover the rest of the construction costs that we anticipate the project needing to get completed. And so at this point, we're anticipating requesting an additional $5.5 million to cover the costs of the project.
So what you're saying is it will not cost the city anything, right? At this time?
At this time, correct.
Right. Okay.
And so I'll talk
Other
about.
than their fee, right?
So the grant will cover the fee. It's been awarded, but there's a few documents we need to provide to them first so that the city can get reimbursed for kind of our fee.
Right.
So, but that's part of what we've included in our scope of services too. So the city has the grant. We just need to help provide some documentation so the city can start getting reimbursed for that.
Are we getting any, I had a conversation with our Commissioner Price, Dallas County Commissioner Price, about this. And so I knew it was coming, but I was under the impression that the county was going to also come up with some of the funds to help us, or is it, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any county.
Okay.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next page, let's just talk about kind of the work we've done so far with the original contract. So the original contract took us through the preliminary design. As part of that, we submitted a final, called a preliminary design report, submitted it to the city in early August. As part of that, we evaluated, what construction methods are kind of viable for this type of installation and what would be ultimately the cheapest for the city to kind of move forward with. So those are things we evaluated. We also performed an preliminary environmental investigation with it being, in floodplain, there's wetlands in the area. With it being in a nature preserve, we wanted to kind of identify early on what we would be dealing with once we get into final design and ultimately construction. Preliminary geotechnical investigation, just want to understand kind of what's below the surface, right? What conditions are we going to see out there for construction, and that kind of helped us develop, what our recommendation was as far as how to build this project. And then finally, stream analysis. So explain that the river over the years got deeper, got wider. So we don't want that to happen again. So we're able to kind of anticipate how much wider it's going to get, and then from there, apply to factor safety. So we're going to replace a much longer length of pipe than you would probably need at this point, but due to anticipated erosion in the future, that just gives somewhat of the safe factor safety.
Right.
Madam Mayor, may I ask a question?
Yes.
What about the size of the pipe? Will the pipe be larger to account for the future growth of the city? Because right now, we're about 7,000, and we are projected to, within the next 5 years, to be close to 10,000 or
Right.
more. So, I'm just wondering, will we still be able to have the same amount of sewage water go
So-
through the same size of
Yeah.
pipe, or will it be larger pipe?
So, I guess at this point, we're anticipating, replacing it with the same diameter pipe. I guess that is something we could look at. We don't really know how the city is gonna grow, but we can kind of confirm, you know, what is that size for?
Ultimately, the capacity is based upon how much you're pumping. So if you grow, that pump station number one has to be able to handle that flow, which then dictates the size of the force main. So ultimately, if we put in a larger pipe, there would be no current benefit, and there will actually be issues with the
It should
pipe.
stay in there.
Yeah, because you have too big of a pipe for what the station's currently pumping.
So pump station one is the only one that goes through this pipe?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's currently. So Wilmer has an agreement now with TRA to bring some of their wastewater south.
Right.
So there's been a study done to look at a sewer, what's called a sewer shed, or the area of potential development that would go to TRA. And that's, when development takes place in that area, it will go south instead of going north.
But-
So that will relieve the,
But that area would be pump station three, wouldn't it? That one that's right there behind the school? Wouldn't that be
Oh.
pump station three?
well, that's one, that pump station was put in for a specific development
Right.
for the school and for
The
part of
those
the development
houses
behind
there?
there. That only goes into the same, main line that this force main
Right.
handles.
So one and three both go into that line?
Everything goes into.
Into this
that line
particular
at-
line.
At this time. All three.
All of them do?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I
There's-
misunderstood that a while ago.
because that's the reason we've been trying to get with TRA to where we could connect in to the one on the Trinity.
Yeah.
And that will relieve a lot of the pressure, because the east side of the city and some of the west will be pumping that way.
Yeah, because the nature of the topography of Wilmer, about halfway through the middle, you know, half of it goes down to Dallas, to the Dallas treatment plant, and the other half wants to go south to the 10 Mile Creek or to the river. So when development happens on that side, they have to pump it back up the hill and then gravity it down the hill. And that's why you see these other pump stations, like pump station number 3.
Mm.
That's what it's doing. It's pumping it up the hill and then down to the main trunk line that goes.
Actually, if I may, they're called lift stations.
Lift stations?
You're right.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting. I just want to make sure that whatever expense is done is for future growth of the city will be covered, at least for the next 5 years, because they're saying by 5 years, we will be over 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
think what
what,
this does is replace the capacity that's there in that pump station. So as Mike's saying, if we went any bigger with the pipe, then
It would
it
stay
wouldn't do
there.
any good until we
I get it.
got new pumps there or more pumps there.
right.
Okay.
And
Thank
actually
you.
cause issues with the current pumps.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
I'll just touch on the two other things that we included in the original contract. So at the crossing, got the survey of the area, and we also got the subsurface utility engineering, basically telling us what utilities are out there. Just want to know that, of course,
Okay.
when we do any construction. The next page kind of outlines all the tasks associated with this amendment that we're providing today. You know, like it was mentioned before, this amendment will bring us through the bid phase of the project. You see there's a lot of items listed, but when you look at the overall project, you know, the design of the pipeline is relatively simple. It is all the stakeholders that are involved with Dallas County on the south, the city of Dallas on the north side. You have to go through the nature preserve, so there's a lot of coordination on that end. On top of that, you're using EPA and Texas Water Development Board funding, and so to get the funding, there's a lot of effort associated with getting that for the city.
Right.
So just touching on a few of these bullet points, you know, the last two have to do with EPA getting that money that was already awarded to the city, or the Texas Water Development Board helping the city apply for that additional $5.5 million, and getting the city access to that money. The cultural resources survey, just our knowledge of the area, it's very likely that we may encounter something out there. Texas Historical Commission will likely require the survey to be done, so we've included that in our scope of work. With this being on the city of Dallas and Dallas County property, they both require tree surveys, and obviously with some of the clearing that we're doing on the south side, just coming up with a reforestation plan to kind of mitigate what construction activities were done out there. With potential impacts to waters of the U.S., you have to engage with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, dealing with the nationwide permits. We included that task too. And then easements are needed on both sides so that the city has access to that in the future. Because one of the issues with how it currently is especially from the south side, there's an existing trail. It's not that accessible for the city to go out there and inspect it. So ultimately, the goal would be to come up with some sort of agreement with the preserve so that the city can access it when they need to.
Right.
The next page details the future work. So we did include construction phase services as part of this project just because it's a complex project overall. We're dealing with multiple owners, property owners, not only just City of Wilmer, Dallas County, City of Dallas. We're also using two sources of funding with the EPA and Texas Water Development Board. So the schedule associated with that isn't well known. We can hope for the best, but the reality is construction is a few years out. So we thought it'd be better to kind of discuss with the city once we get close to that point in the bid phase, understand what the city's needs are and how, you know, the both of us can help satisfy the needs to get the funding at that point. But we thought it'd be a little bit early to have those discussions now. The next one is just outlining the project schedule. So I've designed it at 12 months. You know, like I've been saying, there's a lot of people involved, so we have to make sure that whatever we're proposing, that we get buy-in from not only the city of Wilmer, Dallas County, city of Dallas. So we're kind of anticipating 12 months for that. That part of the schedule is relatively known. We've estimated 12 months for that. Where it starts to get a little bit unknown is once we finalize our designs and start engaging the Texas Water Development Board and the EPA, providing our sealed plans, right, to submit to them before they will actually start reviewing. So that's why we have in there 12 months for now. With the regulatory agencies, you never really know how long it takes them. We can hope for the best and hope that they keep to, you know, 12 months schedule, but that part is unknown. And, you know, obviously we would need to have that part complete before we would put this out to bid.
Right.
I have another question. I'm sorry. This happened in 2020. Did TECQ and the EPA give us a deadline for when we would have to have a permanent fix? Because it's been 5 years.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just wondering, how long do we have to repair this? If the engineering part takes a year.
Right.
And then going into the construction bid phase and all that.
Yeah.
We're looking at 3 years more.
Right, right.
Are we gonna get in trouble with the EPA or TECQ? Because we had some issues with TECQ
Yeah.
about this. So,
As far as I know, they did not give us a deadline. Wayne, you know, if we were given a deadline, I don't believe we were.
They haven't given us an indefinite deadline, they just said it needed to be fixed quick.
So.
quick, 5
Yeah.
years.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, they haven't given us an indefinite deadline.
Okay, that's what I
But it is-
understood. They had not given us
What's there
a,
now is temporary, the definition temporary.
Okay, a follow-up question. $886,000 fee, we'll get reimbursed through the grant, if we get if we get it, or do we have it? We have it,
Yeah.
but we need to pay this up front.
Not sure, I think you apply to have them release the money. so
I'm
I
just
don't know.
wanting to know, how do we pay this bill? in
I
it-
think,
While we wait to get reimbursed?
I think, if I'm not wrong, that once they do their work, they will come to us for the money. And then we'll go pay them, and then we go back and get our money back.
But we have, okay, we're gonna pay it in
Right.
advance. I mean, it's gotta be done.
Right.
We're in violation.
Yeah,
I'm just concerned about where do we get the money? I mean, we've had a budget meeting where our city is in some financial issues.
Right.
Do we pull it out of our investment funds in advance and then try to put it back? What do we do while we wait for reimbursement?
I think that's part of the process that we're setting up with the EPA.
Right.
So ultimately, you reimburse it, that allows you to submit, and then there's like, you submit the bill to them as soon as 30 days after we submit the bill to you. So I don't think you're waiting.
We're not waiting that
6, 7
long.
months.
Okay.
Again, it's EPA,
Yeah.
the government, but ultimately, part of what we're doing with this project is helping you expedite that, so it's not, you're paying, $400,000 and still haven't gotten it back.
Right.
You're getting it relatively quickly.
In sequence, break it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not gonna be all coming at once.
Okay. That's what I was alarmed about. Okay, thank you.
We have met with the EPA representative who's handling this grant for the city, and, he's already given some instruction on what needs to be done, or what's gonna need to be done to do that, and we've kind of done some of that work already, but there needs to be some more done, so we got a little head start on it, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, and just to wrap it up, I'm sure you all already know, so our original contract is at $354,000 with the services we're proposing under amendment number 1. You're requesting additional $886,000, bringing the total to $1.24 million. Are there any other questions?
That's a big deal, because that's gonna take Ben all weekend to do that, so $1.4 million for Ben.
Be nice. Be nice to Ben. Ben works hard for us. Thank you, gentlemen. Do you all have any other questions? Okay.
A lot of money.
Do you? Oh, yeah, but we knew that was coming.
Ben always
Okay.
says it's big money too, so.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So we had already approved that much?
Currently, yeah. But
And
it'll,
now we're
it'll,
adding that much?
uh-huh. But anyhow, it'll all be paid. It's done in phases. Okay. May I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. May I have a second?
Second.
Miss Linda Nealon, seconds. Now may I have a vote?
Yes.
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 It is 5-0, and it passes. Thank
Item number 6, discuss and consider a recommendation to the city council for a final plat, Ramirez Edition, located in the city of Wilmer, extraterritorial jurisdiction, consisting of one lot on approximately 32.74 acres. The subject property is situated in the Joseph Rowland Survey, abstract number 1198, City of Wilmer, ETJ, Dallas County, Texas, and generally addressed as 1431 Mars Road, Wilmer, Texas, 75172, case file FP-25-02, and our planner, Lynette Romero, will present the item.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes,
may I real fast?
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Just as a quick reminder, the one rule we have about plats stink, okay? Just because remember the rules, plats are the one unique animal in land use. Under 21209 of the local government code, all that really matters is it compliant with our subdivision ordinance? And is it technically complete, administratively complete? Did they pay the fee? Did they staple it right? Did they do, it doesn't matter if we like it or not, the law, quite frankly, sucks on this part and it makes us do it. But if it complies with that, we don't have a choice. We have to approve it even if we don't like it. I just want to get a quick reminder because plats, that can end up, council people can possibly be individually liable for the plats. So remember, yeah, so plats stink, is it compliant, and is it administrative complete? There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you. The property is located in Wilmer's ETJ and currently has a residence on the property. The surrounding subject properties on all sides are similar rural residences, also located within the city's ETJ. The purpose of this preliminary plat is to divide the subject property into 3 recorded lots from an unplatted tract of land. The larger lot measures 26.63 acres and is designated for the existing residence, while the 2 smaller lots each measure 2.90 acres and are intended for future development. Furthermore, the plat includes a dedication of a 25-foot right-of-way along Mars Road. This item meets all technical requirements of the subdivision ordinance. The preliminary plat was approved by City Council on June 5th, 2025. And staff recommends approval as presented.
Okay. May I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, sir. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, ma'am. Now may I have a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
5-0. It passes. Thank you.
Item 7, discuss and consider a recommendation to the City Council for a preliminary plat, J.W. Johnson Edition, located in the City of Wilmer, consisting of 1 lot on approximately 0.2263 acres. The subject property is situated in the A.K. Gray Survey Abstract Number 505, City of Wilmer, Dallas, Texas, and is generally addressed as 102 First Street, case file PP-25-07. Ms. Romero?
Thank you. The subject property is situated within the SF2 Single Family Residential Zoning District. It is surrounded by residential lots to the northwest and south, which are also zoned SF2. To the east, there is a residential lot that is zoned C1 Commercial Restricted. The purpose of this preliminary plat is to plat 1 tract of land into a single lot of record. The property owner recently received a demolition permit and has demolished the previous residence on this lot. The owner intends to construct a new home on this property. However, the lot depth for this property is 99.98 feet, while the maximum required lot depth for a property within the SF2 zoning designation is 100 feet. Therefore, the applicant is also requesting a variance to allow a reduction of 0.02 feet from the maximum required lot depth of 100 feet. This variance request is in accordance with section 1.11 of Wilmer subdivision ordinance. Staff has reviewed the plat and finds that it meets all the applicable technical requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Approval of the plat is therefore subject to the city council's granting of the requested variance to the minimum lot depth requirement. Staff has reviewed the plat, and does recommend that it be approved as presented. At the August 28th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, the preliminary plat was approved with the staff recommended condition that if the city council approves the plat, along with the applicant's variance request for a reduction of 0.02 feet in depth, that this approved request should be included as a general note on the final plat. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, this is the piece of property right here on First and,
Behind the church.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I have some questions about verbiage here. Okay, if the maximum required is required lot depth for a property is 100. So if the maximum, should that be minimum requirement?
Yes.
If they're wanting to do a variance, they already meet the maximum, they're less than the maximum. So shouldn't this be, if it says the maximum required is 100,
I'm sorry, I think that's supposed to be minimum required lot depth, not maximum.
and so that would need to be fixed into the notes, yes, that's why.
Yeah.
It should be the
You can
word,
do that in a motion.
Okay.
Subject to that,
Okay.
fixing the typo,
and
basically.
so there's no need for them to have a variance,
So.
or is it the
Is it
minimum?
required?
The minimum is 100 feet for SF1.
Yes, that is correct. The required is 100 feet, but they don't meet it by that 0.02.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? May I get a motion?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to approve the plat for, what is the address? At 102 First Street with the correction of it does not meet the minimum requirements by 0.02 feet. So I'm making, can I include the variance in with the motion, or do they have to be separate?
Yeah, that would, yes, ma'am, that would, so this is
Okay,
strictly the
so I make the motion to approve, approval of the,
The
plat
plat?
subject to the change.
what has been presented with the change.
May I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Now,
Yeah, I know what I mean. Love it.
may I get a vote?
Yes.
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 5-0. It passes.
Madam Mayor, as a follow-up, make a motion to approve a variance for the property at 102 First Street for the construction of a new home.
Okay, and may I have a second?
I'll second it. I second it.
Thank you. Now, we have to vote on this.
Yes?
Yes.
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 5-0. It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Item 8, discuss and consider resolution number R2025-0918A, nominating candidates for election to the Board of Directors of the Dallas Central Appraisal District. Mayor and Council, this resolution is to nominate candidates to the DCAD Board of Directors. Under the Property Tax Code, each taxing unit may nominate up to 2 candidates by resolution. Wilmer has 2 votes in the election process. If council wishes to nominate, please state the name or names of the person you would like, or you may choose to take no action and nominate nobody. I did research back. We previously have not nominated anybody. I just need to have the action of no action if that's what y'all choose.
May I get a motion?
No action taken then?
Okay, no action. Okay, so do we want to nominate anyone? Nope.
Just said no action.
No action.
Okay, thank you.
The only person I know is from DeSoto.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody.
okay. That concludes our agenda for this evening. If there is no further business, this meeting is now adjourned.
I really would like to make a comment.
On what?
Work sessions. Can I not?
She's wanting to make a motion on, work sessions.
Just make a motion for
Or, no, she's wanting to make a comment.
Can I just speak about it or not?
Well, I've already,
Never mind.
it is 8:02. Thank you.